We're live. We're live. Hey, hey, welcome. This is the loser leaves wrestling. Get in here. Come on. We're waiting for our friends. We're looking for all our friends here. This is Loser Leaves Wrestling. This is the woo-woo-woos and what's of Aew Dynamite, November 17th, 2021. And what a show we had today. But let's start off just talking about a little wager that you and I had.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, my name is Red Jefferson. I'm here with Roy. And as always, we got Tam in the booth. Give it up for Tam in the booth. Roy and I had a wager. Full Gear happened. And Roy and I gave our picks. And we said winner would have to wear a Team Roy or Team Red. Or the loser would have to wear a Team Roy or Team Red. And we tied.
We tied.
And so we decided to wear a Team Mowat shirt. We're Team Mowat all the way. We're trying to get everyone should give a big Mowat chance in the group chat so we could really get him riled up to come back. We got Tony already in the chat. Tony, boom.
Hey.
Told you Red Danielson the heel. Told you Red Danielson the heel. Tony did say that. Tony did suggest that.
Yeah, Tony's right.
I think they did. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe Tony's just taking credit for something that's not true. How'd you feel about the show tonight?
I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. You know what? You smell that, Red? Smell that? Smell it?
Yeah, actually,
you know,
it smells like else here.
It smells like
made chicken before.
Yeah, well, that chicken smells a lot like fresh air because it smells like a new book, like a new car, like they're starting to write something new. It's a new show. It felt like it's a new chapter.
Yes,
I love it.
Yes, it was a very exciting show. A lot of things happened. A lot of things happened. Maybe we should just start diving right in.
Yeah, I like to think that a lot happened, but it didn't feel like a lot happened. Sometimes there's Dynamite shows where it's like, well, a lot happened here. But I felt like this was like pretty digestible.
Like a suitable amount of things happened.
Yeah.
I think an accurate amount of things happened. Absolutely. And when you get in here, make sure to sound off. Let us know you're here. Ask me why I'm wearing a Team Mowat shirt and Roy isn't. We should all ask that.
I'm so sorry.
We should all ask that. No worries. I'm just razzing you. We're having the roll razzle dazzle. No, let's start off top. By the way, happy National Cowboy Shit Day.
Hey, happy National Cowboy Shit Day. Well deserved. Deserved. Do you want to? Nah, you know what? Don't worry about it. Let's just do it.
Under Cowboy Shit to you. That's how I'm going to greet people on Cowboy Shit Day. Pablo C is in the crowd.
Pablo. Hey,
either Pablo C or Pablock. I'm still trying to figure
what was it? I'm not looking at the chat. What's his 18 or their
1718? 1788. I actually like 1788. Brian running heel through Dark Order and Punk versus MJF. Well, that's the next 8 months of TV sorted. That's actually a very good point. We're gonna get to it.
We're gonna get into it. There's a lot to think about here.
There's actually a lot of things and a lot of very funny things. Tony says that's it, Pablo. I love our community here.
Yeah, what a squad. Community. So positive.
We start off the show with Kenny and the Elite, actually. We start off the show with a backstage package where Kenny is in the back, and basically they're trying to give a reason why Kenny's not going to be here for a while. As we all know, Kenny Omega has been dealing with some issues physically. Have you heard about this? Is this news to you?
Oh my God. No, it's not news to me. But have you heard about the extent of it? Have you heard about all these things?
Oh, sure. He's crumbling to pieces. What, he's got vertigo? He's
had vertigo for like 4 years. The guy gets dizzy and gets vertigo in the middle of a wrestling match.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I was gonna make
one other wrestler I know has that. You know who that is?
Is it you?
No, Ric Flair.
Really?
Ric Flair had vertigo. He developed vertigo in a match against Hawk. He lifted him up for a suplex, and all of a sudden something jogged loose in his brain, and he couldn't walk. And I know the feeling. I'm the other wrestler that is also at vertigo. There's only 3. I was
going to make a joke that Kenny has had vertigo as long as you have. That's the joke I was going to make.
Oh, that's probably, maybe it is actually. That's probably pretty accurate.
I also I made a comment on Saturday when watching the show to some friends of ours that Kenny just didn't look normal. Like he doesn't look like normal Kenny. He kind of looked older. He kind of looked a little like gaunt. And then I heard afterwards when listening to, reviews and stuff of the show that Kenny his shoulders are so bad that he's not able to lift weights. So he is like skinnier. He can lift the bar, which is 45 pounds. That's the most he can lift. And when Dave Meltzer asked him, like, how are you going to wrestle this match? His response was, and I quote, "I don't need my shoulders to wrestle. I'm fine."
That's pretty funny. That's a good response.
Crazy.
That's a very good response. And one of the thing is with what's his face? We've known about this for a while. This is not new. This is not a new thing. He's been going through this, and it's been known. So well-deserved rest. And Kenny is saying it's in good hands with you guys. And then Adam Cole's just like, yes, then no worry about it, cleaner. And then just like, no, I was talking to the Bucks, not you, Cole. And it got weird. There it is. There's a little sprinkle. How do you feel? This was good? This was good?
Yeah, I thought this was good. I mean, it sets up Cole versus Omega. I mean, there's the feud for when he comes back. I thought it was weird placement. That could have happened later on in the show. That didn't need to be. It's like, here's like cowboy shit. We're going to celebrate. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Let's go to this other thing. And then we're going to celebrate. I
kind of liked it for its storytelling purposes. Literally closing a chapter, and then immediately we're starting this fun new one. Yeah. So we get Dark Order comes out to announce their new cowboy hero as champion. And out comes Hangman to a big hometown welcome. Great crowd tonight.
Yeah, all night.
Great crowd. They were in love with this night.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Virginia's for lovers, and they come out, and then he starts talking a bunch of stuff. My dad called right in the middle of that. Could you fill in anything that I missed?
He just like put over the crowd. He put over they chanted, "You deserve it," and he stopped them and he said, "No, I don't deserve it. I earned it." And then they started chanting, "You earned it" to him. I think this is really relevant to you specifically, and I want to bring this up to you. And I was thinking about it, and I just like out loud as Hangman was doing his thing, I said, this guy's the people's champ. And I thought about it, and I was like, this guy really is the people's champ. There has not been. This is a trivia question, impromptu trivia question.
Yeah, sure.
That you know the answer to. There has not been a more relatable, more human heavyweight champion in American wrestling since
Diamond Dallas Page.
I was going to say Mick Foley.
Oh, sure. Okay. I thought you were talking about the people's champion. That's what I thought you were going with.
I just I don't want to
like Diamond Dallas Page. And you're like, no,
your all-time favorite wrestler.
You are wrong. I couldn't have been more wrong. Yes, he's very relatable as a person.
Larger than life champion.
Yeah, he is a very they just love him as a person.
Yeah,
they just want him. Yeah,
he's the best, and that's why I got really emotional on Saturday when he won. And I think I watched the show with Moet, and Moet actually was like confused when the match was over, and he was like, "I don't know, I feel sad. I don't know why." Mm-hmm. And I think it's because he couldn't handle the fact, and he said this later on, that like nothing weird happened in that match. Like there was no swerve, there was no weirdness. It was just like, no, the guy who's supposed to won, and we're all happy about it. And we have a hard time dealing with that because of WWE booking over the last 20 years.
That's kind of the beauty of wrestling. I don't even know if that's that. It's just like we're always like, it's never good enough for what we imagine, in all honesty, I was kind of sad afterward too, just because I was just like, it should have felt bigger.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see
it should have felt bigger. That. And if the damn kid wasn't being born, we would have gotten that.
Well, right. Yeah, right.
No, we're not attacking Hangman's kid.
Congratulations.
But if he tries to pick a fight with me, I'll take
but the moment I will say, like, I agreed with you until the Dark Order came out and they offered him a beer and he threw the beer away and they all hugged. That's when I lost my fucking mind. That was very sweet.
That's a great moment. That's a great moment. Yeah. But then out comes Bryan Danielson, mean, dastardly Bryan Danielson. He comes out and he is getting, like, immediately the crowd's against him. Of course, they're in Hangman's hometown. Yeah. But Bryan, at first I thought Bryan was just playing up this crowd, being a heel, but like he's a heel right now, right? Did he just immediately turn heel?
I guess so. I don't know. I thought of this originally as like, do you remember when Shawn Michaels would go to Montreal and everyone would hate him because of the screw job, and then he would just be a bad guy for a night? That's what I thought was happening. But then
I thought so too.
He just kept going. Yeah, it was great. It was so good.
Super into it. Super into it. And he mentions that he's like, wonder what I do. Like, what are you doing tonight? Celebrating? You're not wrestling. After WrestleMania, I wrestled the next night. There's going to be something said about that. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you could mention WrestleMania. And I'm not even saying like Tony Khan's going to be upset. I'm going to say WWE legal is going to be upset. It's a little much. But then he's talking about excuses. He's just like, yeah, I'd fight you tonight, but you're not ready. And I don't want you to have that excuse. Oh my God.
Fantastic.
Yes, American Dragon. And they get that big pull apart at the end, which was nice. A lot of pull aparts happening these days.
Well, I was really glad that when they did the pull apart, well, they hadn't touched, right? And the Dark Order was separating them. But it was really important to me to see Hangman break free and get just like a little bit, like
just a little bit of
Dragon.
Yeah, just a little bit up.
I love that.
Very good point. Very good point. Then immediately afterward, we get a Bryan Danielson versus Evil Luno match.
Yeah.
And when I heard about this match, I was pretty excited about it. It just, I don't know. It didn't meet it was a great match, but it just didn't meet my expectations. We get Bryan Danielson, of course, winning with the triangle choke at the end. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I also was very excited, and I was very excited for you because I know much you like Uno, and I also like Uno. And one of the thoughts I had while watching this match was like, I wish they'd had this match like 3 weeks ago, because when you do the opening segment, which by the way, I'm pretty sure is the first ever time in the history of AEW Dynamite that a show has started with a promo and not a match. This may be the first time ever, legitimately, other than the first ever pandemic show.
And Cody was like, Punk.
The world's weird. Yeah, but that was Rampage too, technically.
Sure.
But all special, really special occasions. So I wish this match had happened a few weeks ago because it was still like Bryan just wrestling. So it would have been more of like a wrestling match. This was more like done in storyline because now, like, as soon as I saw all of this happen before, I was like, oh, well, Uno's just going to kind of get destroyed here. And it's not going to be like a genuine, like, competitive wrestling match, which it wasn't really. I mean, Uno did some things that were good, but I loved heel Bryan Danielson in this match. I love the I've got till 5 thing. I love that. I think that's great. I think only he can do that. Like, and he doesn't yell it. I love that he's just like, I've got till 5.
You know who did that first?
Who? King
Kong Bundy.
Really?
Well, he did a variation.
Well, he said like count to 5, right?
No, he's just like, I want 5.
It made me think too bad.
But you're not the only one who loved this Daniel Bryan. Tony writes, this segment is exactly the Danielson I wanted. Yeah. And I think this match did a lot for that. I guess my critique of it is Evil Uno, he went in with this, I don't like Evil Uno being tough. I think Evil Uno is a thinker. He's a thinker and he's going to outsmart you. When they were doing the trade back off chops, and like, you should not want to get into a striking battle with Daniel Bryan. You are going to outsmart Daniel Bryan using your cunning and wiliness. I don't want to see you being like, hit me harder. No, that's not you, Evil Uno, and it shouldn't be you.
Yeah, that's the only. And also, like, it goes against everything that he's known for because he should know that you're not going to outstrike him. You're not going to you're not going to hit harder than him. I loved when Danielson puts him in the choke, wins the match, and then he's still in the hold and he's flexing. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. It was pretty good.
So
he's doing great.
Good.
No, I can't wait for this. Because did you watch any of Daniel Bryan in WWE where he was the heel champion, the Planet Earth champion?
Yeah, I loved that. I thought that was really
amazing.
Work.
It was amazing. Yeah. And I just like him, just like once he gets to sink his teeth into a good heel character, he just becomes unstoppable and becomes the best part of the show. And as if he's not already. I don't want to keep talking about that, but I guess we have to because Tony comes in now to interview Bryan Danielson. And Bryan Danielson wants to kick every member of the Dark Order's head, and he's going to face Colt Cabana next week, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. That's really exciting. In Chicago.
You don't seem excited about this, though. You seem pretty mellow.
Well, he's just going to get chewed up and spit out. But I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be really good. I think I'm really excited because this like specific type of heel character is the only type. He couldn't ever do this before. This is like a very AEW specific because it's all based around him being a great wrestler. And that doesn't exist in the WWE. So he really gets a chance to like be this character of like, I'm a smug asshole because I know that I'm the best in the world.
Yeah. Very exciting. Very excited
really
to see him back with this. Moving on, we get a backstage segment. This is just a post. This is from Full Gear. We get MJF in the back right after his match. And he is fired up. This is the most animated I've ever seen him, like fire, true fire, where he's just this adrenaline rush. He's like, I don't know what's going on in my knee, but I beat you with a headlock takeover. And he's like, all these great people are nervous about me because everyone in the crowd was chanting your stupid Mark chants at me. You know, I got them. Oh my God. What are your thoughts on that? This is just a quick thing.
I loved it. I liked this. He's usually so poised and so composed, but he felt a little out of control here. And that was really like an exciting change of pace to see him be a little like living off the adrenaline of that match. Like was really cool to see. Yeah.
It was
really like another new layer to his character, like not a big game changer, but like a nice little subtle change. Yeah.
And what I realized just quick about this entire night, there were only 5 matches. There were 5 matches, but they were all 5 quality matches. We're going to talk about another one in a second, but we get some great quality backstage stuff too. We get Eddie Kingston with Tony Schiavone, and they're immediately interrupted by 2.0. Yeah. And I love that they're called 2.0, by the way. Actually, with the whole NXT 2.0 and them being here, I don't know. It feels like some sort of justice. Eddie thinks... 2.0 thinks that Eddie just complains a lot. Eddie wants to fight Danny Garcia. Yeah. And he's just upset about everyone's interrupting promos. He's going to catering. Are you upset by this or are you happy about this?
I think it's going to be a good match. I was happy to see 2.0. I want more 2.0 on my television. My general feeling is that they're moving to CM Punk and MJF, which we'll talk about. And now, what? Are you okay?
It's the plane flying overhead.
Okay. I just don't think we're done. I don't think like AEW does this though. They jump to another thing instead of giving us the rematch that we're looking for. But we'll see another CM Punk Eddie Kingston match in like a year. But like I'm not done. That match, you know, the shortest match on Full Gear was that match. I want more. I want more.
I'm actually upset. I was actually upset when I saw this because I was just like, they're moving on already.
Yeah,
they're moving on already, and I was excited for another match. Yeah. And I want it to be continuing. I don't want to see another match down the road. I want them to continue this story. I want this story to be finished. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I felt like there's still more. There's still more meat on the bone. What do you all think? Moving on, we got a match. We got Butcher and the Blade are back together. Butcher and the Blade, the 2 bald baddies, as I like to call them. The bald baddies facing off Orange Cassidy and Tomohiro
Ishii.
Did I do it right?
Pretty much. You were there.
Ishii. And then they had a match, and the win is gotten from Ishii to Blade with the Brainbuster. But boy, what a weird match.
Yeah,
what a
really
weird tag match.
It was really interesting. Yeah.
Was there any reason Ishii was here, or is it just they had him that night?
Yeah. So Ishii is a member of Chaos, the Japanese stable Chaos, which ties back to last week when Rocky Romero initiated all of Best Friends into the faction Chaos. So now, since they're members of Chaos, they can wrestle with other members of Chaos, i.e. Tomohiro Ishii.
Cool. Sick.
Well, the thing is, it's an interesting use of Ishii. I think Ishii needs to be in a singles match against someone soon. Because Ishii's fucking awesome.
Ishii, honestly, is one of the scariest walkers I've ever seen. Yeah. Him walking to the ring is intense. When he started getting chopped and he just like, not even like staring like hard, like he's just like, no. No, you couldn't do that.
They did a really good job. I feel like they zoomed in on his face as that was happening, and you really got a good shot of his face. And they should do that. They should highlight his face. Oh, yeah. It's like, what do you do?
He is great. Why would you do that to me? Yeah. It was very funny. Very funny move.
Awesome.
He seems really good. I'm excited, but it was actually a good match. Actually, a pretty good match, and the crowd was into Orange Cassidy.
Yeah,
boy, were they into that. I thought like he's been getting some stale notes from the crowd the past few months, but it's Virginia. They've been hyped up. They haven't had a show in a while, and they got their cowboy shit. That's probably why. Right?
Well, I also think too, like let's use this as hey TK. if you were listening to the crowd tonight, people like Orange Cassidy when he doesn't have to wrestle Matt Hardy all the time. So maybe put him against someone else.
Can we actually quickly talk about how Matt Hardy is not helping the Butcher, like Butcher and the Blade when they come out with the bunny? That's a cool looking package.
It's a good tag. Yeah.
It's a good group. I think that's a really fun group. It just visually, if nothing else.
Yeah.
But what happens when you bring Matt Hardy out there and he's doing this dumb Matt Hardy things all over the place? It's distracting and it doesn't fit.
Yeah, it's not. I think they're really good on their own. And even if they don't wrestle that much and we just get weird backstage sections with them, like beating meat or something, like I'm into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're butchers.
Butchers don't even beat me.
Do you remember when they fought the Young Bucks in a Falls Count Anywhere match during like the height of the pandemic, and the match started with the Bucks looking around backstage trying to find them? And then they opened the kitchen door and literally Butcher was in there just hitting meat with a mallet. You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
That's a good time.
This was the best Butcher. This is the best Butcher's ever looked.
Physically, he looks great too.
Physically looked good, but also like he didn't screw anything up in this match, which is a godsend. We got John Busman in the crowd.
Yes.
I think and hope and believe they'll come back to Punk in Kingston. They have so much more to go. We there is so much, but like I don't like it broken up. When you break it up, like it loses that energy. It kind of feels like Hangman winning the title last week. It's just like, because it was broken up, the fire's been out too long. Yeah,
you got to ignite it. You have to
reignite it again. Not saying they can't, but like you won't get it as hot as it is now.
Well, it depends. I mean, I think in a situation like this, if you book it the right way, you can book two different storylines for each of them that eventually bring them together, so it feels like a fluid, logical transition. But they don't always do that. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Well, we'll see. We will all see. We got a back-to-back Tony things. Can we? Okay, I love Tony Schiavone. I want the best for him, and I want him to be happy. But honestly, there's too much Tony Schiavone on the show if he's going to be announcing as well.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I like him in these roles. I like him as like the Mean Gene of the show. I think he's really good in that role. I think he should continue being in that role. I also think he's really good at like the subtle things to kind of get wrestlers over. Like if someone grabs the mic from him and he does like a thing, like I think all of that stuff is really good. I think that works well.
And the thing is with him, like I just feel like he'd be even better in those backstage things. If that's all he focused on. He's literally running back and forth the entire night. And he's an old man that gets distracted very easily. Like I just want him to have one job, and like him on announcing is not helping right now.
Yeah.
And you could have Taz there.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about Taz in a little bit.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to. We get Tony with FTR and Andrade first, and they say some things. But Tully wants Arn, and I am pretty excited about that. He's got one more left in him. I
like that. Yeah, I don't know. This whole thing.
Big huevos. Excellent.
This whole thing is frustrating to me because everybody involved, all 10 people, if you want to include Tully and Arn, are super, super, super talented. And they're all great to watch. I love watching them. But I'm also kind of like, what are we doing here? There's got to be more, especially with Pac, Andrade, Cody, and Malachi. It's just like, get to the four-way. Just have a four-way, and then let's break off into individual feuds. I don't know, do something. But like, it just doesn't feel like they're quite there. I'm down, and I don't dislike any of it because I like watching them all wrestle, but there needs to be more.
In all honesty, though, like FTR, I think they've been doing real well. I did not like the finish to a Full Gear. I thought the finish was bad, but it's also partially because Dax was knocked out.
Is that what happened?
Dax was knocked unconscious by Phoenix. And apparently people have been complaining that Phoenix has been a little too stiff on him.
Where did you hear that? Who told you?
You must not have read the report tonight. WrestlingInc.com. We got John Busman in reference to Eddie and Punk. They made the hottest match on the show after one promo together. You gotta believe, Red. Yeah. And I'm not saying that they can't reignite the fire, but the fire's hottest when I don't know, I have no analogy.
Yeah, you're not
Keep the
wrong.
fire hot. Don't
You're
put
not wrong.
water on it and then try to make the fire as hot once you've already put some water on it. You know? That's the analogy. I think I did a good job there. I circled back nicely.
Do you want to hear to circle back to what do you got? You got some more comments?
Just one more. John Buseman comes in with a JR plugged his barbecue sauce during the tag match. Mucho disrespect.
Yeah, I got that.
You got that right, Buse. Mucho disrespect. No. He did plug the barbecue sauce in the middle.
Yeah, he did. Oh, really? Yeah, he's a good stocking stuffer.
Good stocking stuffer. What were you gonna say, Royster?
I was gonna my crackpot theory for FTR. It's a car horn outside if you can hear it. For FTR and the Lucha Brothers, I think they have a rematch because the wrong man got pinned. They have a rematch on December 22nd in Greensboro, North Carolina, and FTR beats them for the titles.
Maybe because that was a pretty wonky fucking finish. I hated that. I hate the mask deal. I'm just so frustrated with AEW refs, and I know I'm sounding like Jim Cornette when I say that, but no, it's more than that. It's just I just want there to be some consistent. Like, how could a ref be that stupid? How could a ref be that stupid? It's the stupidest thing. But then we get another Tony segment with Britt Baker, and they do the regular Britt Baker Tony thing. It was pretty nothing, but apparently Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter's next week, and they just kind of plugged that. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I did. I think there's like a little subtle like plug of like Britt Baker saying we don't talk about Thunder Rosa, we don't say that name on here because all roads lead back to Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker, and Thunder Rosa taking the title off of Britt Baker. All roads lead back to that.
Sure. I believe that as well. I would love one of these backstage segments, that they did with FTR and they did with, they had the MJF one in the back and the Super Elite. Why aren't they doing one with Thunder Rosa? Why aren't they doing one with some of these, like they want her to be a big star. They want her to be, why wouldn't they give her a small 30-second Tony spot?
Absolutely. Yeah. Where's Ruby Soho?
Yeah, where is
also?
Let's get to some really hot matches, really sizzling matches. This one was a sleeper for me. Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida. Started out pretty good, but then it got a little sloppy before that. The first commercial break. There was like 2 commercial breaks in there, I think.
I think you're right. Yeah,
and but then it started really picking up. And we get a somersault through a chair from Nyla Rose. Destroyed that chair. Absolutely destroyed that chair. We get Vicky getting butt whacked with the kendo stick. And the crowd ate it up. They love it. And there's that unfortunate commercial break. So there's this commercial break right after those things. And then there's a commercial break right after this match is getting real hot. Like it's getting on fire, and then the commercial break, and then I was just watching the match during the commercial break, and they're just like, rest hold, wait for the commercial to come back on. It was pretty awkward. But then as soon as we get back from commercial, Deeb attacks Hikaru Shida. I'm so glad that they're continuing this Deeb thing, right?
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's interesting. I'm all for them having another match. I am all for it. I think it's great. I just don't know why they're going to wrestle 3 or 4 times, but like CM Punk and Eddie Kingston can't wrestle one more time.
Doesn't make sense. Make sense. And that like they're doing the right thing by this feud. Yeah. Why couldn't they do it with this 2 other feuds?
Yeah, it's strange. It's strange, but I'm into it. I love Deeb. I love Deeb's new gear, i.e. t-shirts. I think her new t-shirts are great. And I think Deeb brings something special out of Shida, and I think they have fucking good matches, so I'm excited.
I do. I agree. I think they're really, really good chemistry there, and especially when Shida is fired up. She is fired up.
Yeah.
But this match after Serena Deeb attacks, they still wrestle for another 5 minutes. Why would they do that? Yeah. If Shida's going to lose anyway, why not do the attack right at the end? She does the attack. Nyla Rose gives her knee off the second rope, which I really hate, by the way.
You hate that?
Really do. I just don't like it as a finish, or like that she sets people up for it as a finish. I don't like that. But she kicks out of that, pretty much making Nyla Rose look like a dork. And then we get her attacking the leg, and then Nyla Rose giving the stretch muffler, which is a good finish.
I was gonna say, yeah, I loved the finish of this match. I love the stretch muffler.
Yeah.
What a good move for someone like Nyla Rose too. Like, yes, use the stretch muffler, please.
Yeah. Stretch muffler is an amazing, especially when you're facing women that are like bordering 100 pounds. You could have a really cool visual if you're able to swing that body around on a stretch muffler.
Yeah.
And it
she
looks devastating. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. She'll die. So that's a great match there. Then we get a backstage segment.
Can I take a second before we jump over there?
Oh, jump in.
Just for this match, you mentioned these things, but I want to go back and say Vicky specifically did a really good job in this match, because sometimes Vicky, like, you know what she's going for, but she doesn't always execute it well. But when she like tries to run and she falls, if you look closely, her shoe literally like flew off her foot. Like she legit tripped and her shoe flew off. The little things that I really appreciate. I think it's really good. And the cane was like perfect. Like the way she took that cane shot was hilarious. It was very good.
Very funny.
And I also think Nyla just looked good in this match. I feel like Nyla was like, it feels like she's gotten more polished. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because they've wrestled a bunch, so they have really good chemistry together. But she looked really good in this match. And I'm excited for her to fight Ruby Soho in the next round, because Ruby Soho is going to beat Chris Statlander. It's pretty much for conclusion.
I guess so now. Well, we don't know that. Well, let's not say that right.
We don't know that, and we also don't know. My prediction is, this is bold. Thunder Rosa beats Jamie Hayter, and then Jade Cargill beats Red Velvet. So then it's Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill and Nyla Rose and Ruby Soho. So it's the two giants of the women's division, right? Nyla Rose and Jade Cargill. So they have to get through the giants to get to each other.
Sure.
So, and then it's Thunder Rosa and Ruby Soho in the finals of that tournament.
Or Nyla Rose versus Jade Cargill.
It could be. And they have a history together. So it could be them.
Honestly, that would be a pretty cool match. But that being said, it also has the chances of being real sloppy. Because like,
I want that to be the finals of your workhorse tournament.
I don't want all. But I will say though that like what you said about Nyla Rose looking better, she just looked like she had more energy tonight. Like I think the past few times we've seen her, she looks sluggish. Now she had fire, and what you said about Vicky, spot on. This was Vicky's best showing in a while. And I just want her to do more of the screen. I want her, like someone in the corner and the ref turns around, instead of using the kendo stick to like choke her out, because Vicky's not a physical person. Scream at their head. And that's not cheating.
No,
that's not cheating. And like I would love that. She's the banshee.
That's really good. That's really good. She's the banshee.
She is. Tony says it keeps Sheeta super strong. Red, her leg selling was a bit weird. This is what Tony says. I agree, Roy. Nyla did look better this match, so we're all on the same page. But we're gonna have to agree disagree, Tony, about the leg sale. But we'll move on. We got to move on. With Malachi Black. By the way, Roy, if I'm steamrolling over a conversation, interrupt me. Let me know.
Not at all.
I just realized. Have I been?
I always jump in.
You all have to tell me. You all have to tell me. You're my boss.
Each segment. Each segment, I have different things that I want to talk about for each segment, but sometimes you say them.
Well, let's just make sure that someone's policing me. All right, moving on. We got Malachi Black. He's in the back saying things I didn't follow.
You know what's funny? I understood this promo better, but my like gut is like, man, he's kind of like after Bray Wyatt jumped the shark.
Yeah,
where he's just like, you know, like rambling, saying a lot of things that I'm like, huh? You know, but like his things are a little more intelligent, but like they go over my head. Like,
you think they're more intelligent?
Smart. I think so, yeah, because I think like Bray Wyatt would say like the buzzards are hesitate. I don't know. He'd say some weird shit, you know, and he would just be putting words together for the sake of putting words together. I think Malachi Black has a point, but his point is derived from like 19th century satanic literature. So everyone's like, what are you talking about? I haven't read this like cultist novel. I don't know. Like,
I think that the Bray Wyatts were, besides the beginning and end where he did his little like light lantern thing and did the like, the buzzards, that type of thing. But in the middle was good. The middle was good. I feel like Malachi Black is overcomplicated. Just like, let's see how you take your deep breath when there's no more oxygen left in that area. Like what?
It's more Ultimate Warrior. I would recommend going back and watching Bray Wyatt promos like circa 2015, 2006. Like, yeah. Like when they first came up, they were really good. But then after he once he got dreads, that was it. It was over.
Yeah. Well, Chica Marks is here.
Chica Marks.
She says, I'm behind Miss Dynamite, but love the shirt. Yeah, I do love the shirt. Oh, where's your shirt? Where did you take yours
I blew it. I'm sorry.
You have to keep all our fans up to date.
Yeah.
We have to let them know. All right. We get the next thing is probably the best part of the night.
Oh,
my favorite part.
Okay. I'm sorry. I got confused. I thought
super elite in the back.
No, you know what's really funny is I thought the next segment we were talking about was Darby Allin, the Gun.
No. That's my second best part. That's the second best. We're gonna get to that. But we get MJF coming out. And MJF is lit up. He just beat Darby Allin. Wardlow's out there. He's strutting to the ring. He's all hopped up. He's saying some real fun things. By the way, Spears is a great stooge. Spears, honestly, I'm loving this dynamic with him having like the odd couple bodyguards where Spears is all like, and Wardlow's like, but he's like, on the bidding war in 2024. He's like, I'm going to take a cowboy shit on your champ. He's like, but the rankings don't mean anything. They don't, because you would know that I'm the reason that the blah, blah, blah. He's saying all this stuff.
Yeah.
Out comes CM Punk. Out comes CM Punk. And this is the match that everyone's kind of waiting for. Like I've been waiting for. It's just the promos for this is the reason why I want to see it, right? And when he comes out to the ring, he just walks in, and then everyone's chanting. They're just like the same things, and MJ's about to speak, and they're just like, "Shut the fuck up," all that stuff. And then Punk just walks away. He just walks away.
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, really fantastic. You never see that. You never see somebody just go out there and walk away. And he kind of laughs, and it kind of plays on that whole like CM Punk looking for respect kind of thing, and like Maxwell, Jacob Friedman kind of extending his hand, showing him respect. But CM Punk knows that like he respects no one, so he's not going to shake his hand. Like his hand isn't worth shaking, and he's not worth yelling at right now. You're saving CM Punk's promo and MJF for a Chicago audience next week. I mean, no doubt about it.
Oh, amazing. Smart move. And but just such a smart move, because that's the thing we want to see most is their interaction. And CM Punk got in MJF's head, because that's the worst thing you could do to MJF.
Yeah.
Is walk away with him when he has something to say to you, That's the thing. And that's honestly brilliant. Absolutely. And then CM Punk laughing and smiling, walking away. Yeah. Because he knew, he's just like, I did nothing. And I got the biggest reaction of the night. I did absolutely nothing. And that's just smart. We got worked.
Totally. I think CM Punk and Bryan Danielson tonight entered a new realm of their character. Yeah. Punk's gonna stay a babyface, but he's gonna be this like kind of hybrid babyface with an attitude that's like really exciting and very cool. And Danielson's gonna be a big time like smug heel, which is gonna be really good too. I thought about this, and I'd be curious to get your thoughts on this. And let's try. I'm gonna try not to take us down too deep of a rabbit hole here, but thinking about Punk and Danielson and like starting to hear things from like people who already want to shit all over the company to begin with, of like, what have Punk and Danielson really done for AEW? They haven't done anything. They haven't booked them well, etc. And like Roman Reigns and maybe Seth Rollins might have said too that like, well, like the company is the biggest draw. Like there is no wrestler who's like a big draw for them. It's the audience. It's the company. That might be true. Thinking about it, like I no longer look at Punk and Danielson and see them as bigger than this show. I don't see the like, here's Punk and here's Danielson and then here's the rest. Like I don't see anyone as untouchable. And to some that might be a bad thing. Like when you watch like a WWE show, it's like, here's Roman Reigns and here's everybody else, Yeah. But I think that's bad. I don't think that's a good thing. I think why I like that AEW itself is the biggest draw. Like a fan goes to an AEW show because they've heard about this AEW thing and they want to know what it's all about. People go to a WWE show because they want to see one wrestler. And people probably want to go to an AEW show and see a Punk and see a Danielson, but it's like, shit, man, you're going to see Leo Rush and Dante Martin, and that's going to be badass too. Like, what do you think about all of this?
No, I agree with you about AEW. With WWE, actually, I think they're the same. Like, I think WWE is all about the brand. You know, like you go to WrestleMania not to see a match anymore. You go to see WrestleMania. It doesn't even matter what's on the card. It's just the brand, WWE and the brand, WrestleMania. Yeah. And the thing is, like, but the top guys are literally the only ones that matter. Like you said, the Roman Reigns, the Clay Marshalls, or what are the names?
Clay Marshall?
Drew McIntyre. Clay Marshall. I was thinking of the Claymore kick.
You know Clay Blakemore? Remember Clay Blakemore?
Oh yeah, more Clay Blake. We got some comments. Chica Marks, Tony writes, after Chica Marks says she missed the show, Tony writes, Brian turned heel, Chica. Chica Marks goes, exclamation points. And then Tony writes, MJF got punked. Chica Marks says, now I'm definitely going to watch the recording. Tony says, I won't say nothing else, Chica Marks. He. Tony says, I don't agree, Roy. I feel like Punk and Danielson are bigger than anyone else. Chica Marks says, thanks, Tony. Not in reference to disagreeing with Roy, though.
Tony, I agree. I agree that they're bigger, but I don't feel like they're untouchable, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think they melted in well. I think they just melted them in well. And they've risen AEW with it. It's not like they're here and AEW is still climbing. They're now on the level. They're on the level, I think. They are bigger than everyone else, though. That is,
but they're elevating people with them. Like this MJF thing, like everybody loves MJF and blah blah blah. But like MJF's about to like go up because he's going to be wrestling Punk. Yeah,
but Punk and Danielson are clearly on another level. Tony says, and yes, we agree. We're not disagreeing with that.
Yeah,
that's saying like they're in the same hemisphere. Like we could see Daniel Bryan versus John Silver, which we're gonna see soon.
That's a good point.
Feel absolutely. That won't feel wrong. Like seeing Roman Reigns versus Umberto. That's the last time I watched. Remember Umberto?
Yeah, sure. Umberto Carrillo.
Like,
right.
No, not Alberto. Not Alberto.
Humberto? Humberto Carrillo.
Oh, Carrillo. I thought you said Alberto Del Rio.
No.
And I was just like, no.
Humberto Carrillo. Yeah. But like also like, you know, Roman Reigns versus Drew Gulak. You know, like somebody like that, like you feel like you're wasting your time by watching that because of how it's going to be done. But Danielson's going to have a somewhat competitive match with everybody in the Dark Order, pretty much, except for 5.
It's going to be great.
Crush 5. Yeah.
He's going to, please crush 5. I love the Dark Order, but 5 is just rough. But the thing is, we just have MJF moving on to the dream match, right? MJF just had the best match of the night on Full Gear, in my opinion. And then now he comes in, he's going to have literally a dream match. And now where does Darby Allin go? Darby Allin. I've never seen a fall from grace so sharp. So the guy loses to CM Punk. He's on a winning streak, kind of, and then he faces CM Punk. It was a good match, and he didn't really lose anything from it. And then he's kind of like trotting along, and then he's in a match against MJF. And like, they're two pillars. They're going against it, and he loses from headlock takeover, like you said. And you expect this to be the start of a feud. The start of another thing. That's why Eddie Kingston and Punk should have continued for a little bit.
Right.
And then this should have continued a little bit.
Yeah.
You can't just have CM Punk win with a headlock takeover and expect Darby Allin to be fine after it. Darby Allin shows up and he's hanging out with Tony. He's hanging out with Tony in the back, and he's bummed. And out comes, he's sitting there. And Billy Gunn comes up with his sons, and he challenges him to a fight. And not only that, they all make fun of him as they walk away, where little baby Austin Gunn goes up and he's like, I like turtles. Oh, it just hits so hard. It hits so hard. It was so funny. Got punked out so bad. And then even Darby Allin's just like, whatever. How great was this?
Oh my God. I love that they all had stupid beanies on. Like even Billy Gunn at like 56 was wearing a stupid beanie. Not that I don't wear the beanies. Yeah.
That beanie.
And I'll never not laugh at the turtles thing, because especially tonight, because so Darby kind of looked hunched over and like looked extra like the Turtles kid.
that was so good.
I just don't know, like, why are you putting this match on television? Like, why are you putting this match on television?
I'm not mad at that.
I am.
I'm not. It's just like the absolute fault. Like, if this was his match on Rampage or whatever, That'd be fine if the MJF match was still going on. And like the feud was still going on. Like a Darby, like imagine that match did get in Darby's head. And then like this week, he's just like in the back, and then Billy Gunn comes up to him, and it's just like this weird interaction. They have a match on Friday, and it's too close. Like Darby wins, but it's a little close. And he's just like, what's going on? Yeah. I want Darby to be a little weirded out. I want this type of thing to happen. But the fact that MJF just moved on to Punk and Darby moved on to Billy Gunn is the funniest divergence I've ever seen.
Yeah, never. I can't think of like who he should be fighting either. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know who.
Who does he fight?
What's like, well, yeah, what's an appropriate feud for him? I have no idea. So might as well put him against Billy Gunn. See, that's my thought. Okay, fantasy booking, crackpot theory time. You've got a great point. He loses to Billy Gunn.
Oh my God!
So Darby Allin.
that's my Andy Prudensky. Andy back.
That's really. So Darby comes out to the ring by himself on Friday, loses to Billy Gunn, and then Sting comes out and he says, "This is my fault. I've had your back for this past year. It's been a year. I've been with you for a year, and maybe you've gotten soft. And the only way to get you back on track, you've got to beat the teacher. The teacher's got to become the student's got to become the teacher. So we got to go one-on-one." And it happens in 2 weeks, which is his 1 year anniversary in AEW. He loses to Darby. Darby's back on track, and Sting rides off into the sunset.
Maybe. I don't want Sting to go out that way.
Yeah, I don't really want to. Well, I mean,
I like their pairing. I just kind of want Sting to slap the shit out of him one day and slap the shit out of him, just wake up. And then Darby gets mad at him, and they have this fight, and then he beats Sting, and then they just like hug at the end, and they continue on with their partnership.
Yeah, they should have a cinematic match.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh sure. I like turtles. Fucking nailed them. Nailed them to the grass with that. That was literally the best part. Austin Gunn serves a purpose. Oh God, I hate that I made that a soundbite. Nobody steal that. No one isolate that. I don't want that to come back to haunt me. Then we get Super Elite are up next, and they're super bummed. Super Elite are super bummed, and they're sad, and they're not able to compete right now because they're hurt. But they are really upset with how their matches went this past week with Kenny, and then their match with Luchasaurus and the Jungle Boy. But Bobby's here. Bobby Fish is here to save the day, and they're going to be good. This was fine. What are your thoughts?
I in the moment I hated it because I was like, man, like you're going to stop doing Eddie and Punk, you're going to stop doing MJF and Darby, but you're going to keep doing the Jurassic Express and the Super Elite. Why? But then I started thinking about it. And if those two aren't cleared and Kenny's gone, then you've got the Bucks, and then you've got Bobby Fish and Adam Cole starting to lay the groundwork a little bit more for this Undisputed Era thing. And now you're thinking to yourself, well, Roy, if Kenny's gone for a while, who's going to be the third person?
Wait.
Bucks.
What, Roy? If Kenny's gone, who's going to be the third person for the Bucks is what I was thinking.
It's funny that you ask that, because in January, a certain best friend of the Young Bucks, his contract expires. And that certain friend also happens to be a very good friend of Adam Cole's. And that certain friend also went up against the Undisputed Era in a War Games match. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw little Kevin Steen and the Young Bucks versus Cole, O'Reilly, and Fish. Just throwing that out there. Who knows?
That's very interesting. That's a very interesting thought. That's a very, very interesting thought. Very exciting. Did you see the thing, the other Andy Mack thing I did? Another Andy Mack, original Andy Mack.
He's got a big job interview tomorrow. Send him good vibes.
Everyone give good vibes to Andy Mack. We got some comments here. Tony says, like AEW should be a joke for Danielson only wrestling 2 times a week versus 6 days a week in WWE.
Yeah.
I think it's a comment
right.
to he's talking in comment from what we were talking before. And then Chica Marks writes, poor Darby. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, got that right.
I said the same thing. Ha ha ha. Moving on, we got Lio Rush and Dante versus the Acclaimed. And another match that was just pretty stellar to watch. Acclaimed's best match.
Boom, you took the words right out of my mouth. Absolutely. Yeah. I also really love something that I've started to notice and really enjoy is the opponents of the Acclaimed aren't afraid to respond and react to Max Caster's freestyle. So he said something about it's a good thing we're in Virginia because y'all are virgins or something.
Sure.
And the camera cut to Leo Rush and he was like, I got 3 kids. And he literally went like this. He's like, I got 3 kids. And I thought it was very funny.
Oh, I thought that he was saying, I did it 3 times. I've done it 3 times now. I've done it up to 3.5 times. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. But Bowens is very interesting to me. Max Caster definitely, but Bowens is just has this weird intensity that has kind of like a indie wrestler intensity, just
how do you mean?
A little. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. He's
like
very
he's too
intense.
Eager?
He's too eager, and he tries too hard, which is a little. But it's fine. Well, it was a good match. I don't want to.
Great match, yeah.
Amazing speed. Some of the tag things, because literally Leo Rush is super fast, and it's super fast, and Dante can fly, literally super speed and fly, and that's their gimmick. I like them together, and the entire time I was thinking, poor Dante's brother.
Yeah, not untrue, but I also think
he's not going to come in with this is a good tag team.
This is a good tag team, but I think the 3 of them together are even better. The 3 of them potentially in a trios tournament, which you're against, and I know a lot. You and Lance Storm.
Say it out loud, then it might come true.
You and Lance Storm are both very anti trios titles, but this is the only company in the world that can do it correct. They can do it right. I believe in it. But
don't
either way,
use more time for men's matches when you have a women's division that needs it. That needs this time for your title matches.
They're already doing it. They're already doing it without titles. They're already doing it. So, but my thought is also Leo could move on. The brother could come back and Leo could be like, no, we're a good tag team. And Dante could be like, yeah, but my brother's here. So we're going to keep doing this. And he's like, oh, what? And then he goes and finds his own tag team partner and they feud. I mean, there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of things.
I was just feeling bad for him a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
But the win gets made with Leo Rush giving a great frog splash. Love his frog splash.
You know what I love? You know what I really loved about this? So last week, do you remember how their match ended?
No.
Leo hits a move, setting up Dante to do his big move to get the pin.
Oh,
this week,
and then he pushed him in.
Yeah. This week it was the inverse, which was really great. I also love something that I think AEW does really well, and they did really well here. They picked up that Leo can be a good guy. Remember when he was like, I'm LBO Leo, dropped, gone. Haven't heard that in weeks.
Yeah. Deuces, don't need it.
They realized very quickly that they could be a very good team together. And now suddenly they're good guys. They're good guys. Yeah. And it wasn't like a big thing. It wasn't like this big moment where suddenly it was just like, no, boop.
The crowd just loved
pivoting. It. Let's just go for it. And it went from Dante being unsure to now Dante's all in, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he joins Team Taz. Who knows?
We'll talk about that in a second. I just want to say one more thing here. I feel like Dante is like the baby of Shelton Benjamin and Jeff Hardy. The way he wrestles, because he does things I've never seen before, a la Shelton Benjamin. And he kind of has the similar size and build, but skinnier like a Jeff Hardy, and has the selling capability of Jeff Hardy. It's very interesting. But Tony writes, this is the best Leo I've seen. And I have watched a lot of Leo on the indies. And I agree. I've seen a lot of Leo too in his WWE run. And I watched a good amount of his indie stuff because I was really impressed with him in WWE. But he won a lot because he realizes that where his strengths are. And I like him in tags more. I think I almost like him in tags more than singles match because it makes him do less. And so the things he does means more, and which is exciting. He pops more.
Yeah. I think so. He can be a guy he can wrestle a good singles match, but when you see him in short bursts like this, where he goes back and forth, I think that's he's in a great place there. How do you feel about this whole Team Taz thing?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Taz comes out to congratulate them, and honestly, the thing is, why? They're offering Dante Martin. They're like, why aren't you coming on board? We want you on board. Why would anyone go to Team Taz? I know
that's the problem.
There's a bad track record of people that do nothing. Absolutely nothing. They go into their little hemisphere. It's literally like QAnon. Team Taz is QAnon. Where they're in this little hemisphere. They're not talking to anyone else, but they have their theories. They are the kings in their world. They're like, oh, we're gonna get them. We're doing it all. And every time they do anything, it's just we showed them this time. But the outside world is just like, you haven't won a match.
Yeah, right. Right.
Like, and so they only fight each other. It seems like it's just why they're even. I feel like Team Taz, House of Hardy, and Jurassic Express these days, to be honest, they all kind of feel like the same.
Well, one of those teams just had a giant win on pay-per-view. The other two have done nothing. Little difference there.
You know what I'm saying?
I
you like this?
I will only like this if either Team Taz introduces a new tag team to feud with Dante and Leo, or if Ricky Starks gets a tag team partner and that's the feud. I don't want to see Starks and Powerhouse against them. They got to do a little more for me to get into it. I'm not super into this right now.
You know who you put in
I
there?
miss Taz. So
you know who you put in Team Taz?
Who?
2.0 and Danny Garcia.
That's interesting. I also thought about Jay Lethal. I feel like Jay Lethal's a good fit in Team Taz, so he never has to talk again, and Taz can just talk for him.
One thing I did love about this promo is how many times Taz could say businessman over and over again. He's just like, you're a businessman. You're no businessman. Businessman. I'm a businessman. We love business, man. Like, you keep saying it in different ways. And it was really funny. Yeah. So who knows what's going to happen to that? I just hope it doesn't suck Dante and Leo into a program that's for 7-8 months.
Right.
Because that's what they do with their mid card.
Yes. I mean, look at Orange Cassidy and Jeff Hardy or Matt Hardy. It's been going on forever.
You get sucked into this like mid-card feud and you just stay there. You just stay there until they find something else for you. Tony writes Team Taz equals mid-card feud.
Yeah.
You're damn right. You're damn right.
There,
we'll have to see. Next up, we got Jurassic Express with Christian, or Jurassic Christian, as I like to call them. And JB's Jungle Boy, I call him, JB. He says he's gotten rid of his scruff, but he's still the same guy from this Saturday. And just like, what are you doing, dude? Where are you gonna go next?
Well, he's got to say something, I
put
really
them with Team Taz.
Have them feud with Team Taz. Just put all the mid card.
Put them all in Team Taz. Put them in Team Taz. John Buseman writes, there's so many friendships between groups and alliances, but Team Taz is just off completely by themselves. When will Hook debut? And I thought about this. You mentioned this a while ago, but like when Hook does debut, he will have the most, like the crowd will be so into him immediately. Yeah. I can't imagine a wrestler with that same circumstance that wants to see someone wrestle so much that they want this guy for his debut match. Everyone's curious about what this guy's going to do. I think it should be the Team Taz feud against FTR, and then Tully versus Hook. I want Tully Hook. I want Marco Stunt Hook. I want Hook versus
Hook's
all the managers.
Not that short.
I want Hook versus Vicky. Scream in his ear, Vicky. I just can't wait. I can't wait. Who do you think is going to be his first match? Who do you want? Who's your dream opponent for Hook's first match?
That's a really good question. I want it to be someone who's cutting a promo in the middle of the ring, and he's like, no one's beating me, like everyone's beating me. You know what I would love? Okay, Brian Cage comes out. Hold on. Brian Cage comes out and he's like, hey, who better? Nobody. Oh, who better? No one can beat me. Then Team Taz comes out and he's like, oh, not again. Oh, I already fought Ricky Starks. I fought Power. Hey, I got to do a Taz. You going to come fight me? And then Hook is in like his big hoodie and his pants, and he just starts walking to the ring and he takes the hoodie off and he's got no shirt on, and then he's got those button pants. So he rips his pants off and he's in his little fight shorts. And then he beats Brian Cage in like 15 seconds. Like how Taz used to beat people in ECW in like 10 seconds. He suplexes Cage once, puts him in the Kata Hajime, the Taz mission, which I assume is going to be his finish. And then that's it. He taps out. And then we never see Brian Cage again. Hook's a megastar. We're off to the races.
Okay. Book it. I'm not sure. Fine. I guess I kind of want him to face Marco Stunt first. That's where our head's at. Tony writes, Uncle Christian needs to drop the buddy crap. He's better than this. And I agree. I just thought of an interesting idea for Christian. I just thought of an interesting feud for Christian. Tell me what we're time's flying by.
We started 10 minutes late.
We did touch him minutes. Christian should join the Dark Order. Christian should break off with the Jurassic Express. They do their thing. And then he should just kind of be like trying to take Dark Order under the wing. And then he slowly becomes a part of the Dark Order. And then he starts trying to control the Dark Order. So the Dark Order is not about being controlled, but he starts off trying to be buds. Just like, hey, let me join, like do the thing. And then he slowly tries to rule them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Or he just fused with Darby Allin.
Okay.
So let's just somebody, we need somebody. Everybody needs somebody.
Honestly, that would be a good match for Christian, and definitely Darby could do something with that.
Billy Gunn, yeah.
Oh man. Then quickly we get a Jade versus Velvet promo. I'm excited about the match.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good match. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting match.
It's gonna be an interesting match. Let's hope it's good. Then we get Lucha Bros saying something. I don't like Alex. I don't like Alex talking for them. I just don't. He should I kind of prefer them talking on their own. I like when Penta talks in English, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, same with when Phoenix talks in English too. It's good.
No, but Penta's better though.
Well, Penta's just a better talker. He's got style. In general. He's a better emoter. He's got more emotion.
He's definitely got style. But we have one more match for the night. We got one more match, and it's Jay Lethal versus Sammy Guevara, and it's a hard-hitting match with Sammy going over with a GTH, the go to hell, I suppose. What did you think about this match?
I thought it was fine. I mean, I thought it was good. I mean, they're trying to do this thing, and they do this all the time with the TNT title. They're in a pattern with the TNT title where except for Miro, it wasn't like this with Miro, but they did it with Cody too, which is weird because Cody's much bigger than Darby and Sammy, but they're the underdog. They fight tough opponents, and it makes them look tougher by having these hard-hitting matches. It was fine. I think Jay Lethal is a fine wrestler. I think he's a good, talented, solid professional wrestler, which is why he should be in Team Taz. There are some things that bothered me a little bit. And this is just me being nitpicky. So
I can't wait because I apologize. Bothered by this match.
In this match, Sammy did a brainbuster on the floor. His finishing move is the it's a modified go to sleep. And then he does a lot of running knees, which is the V trigger, a signature move of Kenny Omega. The brainbuster has been used prominently by FTR and by Pac. And his modified GTS is a GTS. I just feel like he's taking too many other people's moves. It's nitpicky. It's bothersome.
No, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that nitpicking. I like that thought. I would agree with it. I do feel that honestly, I don't like his attitude as a person, because I think that he's kind of the thing well, if I could do it, I could do it better. I'll just do it better. And which is also just not very cooperative. He doesn't seem like a cooperative person, but he did some things in here. What my biggest issue with the match was that he was selling those ribs and he was in pain. He kept doing things that hurt his ribs, which is fine because he did something actually that might make a really good turn in his character. And when he's going up to the top rope and he's holding his ribs and he looks in the camera, he's like, crazy.
Yeah, I hate that.
I hated that at first, but then I'm just like, that's at least an interesting character trait that I could get behind, that he does not care about his body. And so he just does things because I would like more direction with that. But honestly, what I would have loved, Jay Lethal getting the win here.
Sure.
I think that would have been cool. He just won the title. He just had a fight, just had a match on Full Gear, and he comes in and he stupidly does all these dumb things because his ribs hurt and he keeps doing dumb things. I would love for that. But instead, because Sammy won, Jay Lethal looks like a piece of shit. This fresh ass, because he's a fresh wrestler, completely fresh. He hasn't had a match in a few weeks. Sammy just got demolished this past weekend, and he's got ribs on, taped up ribs, and he's not well, all this stuff, and he's in pain, and he keeps doing things that hurt his ribs, and he doesn't win. He looks like a piece of shit. Jay Lethal looks like a piece of shit.
When you say piece of shit, what is that? Define that for me. He looks weak, or he's like a piece of shit for taking advantage of
during the match. During the match, when the commercial break went on, Sammy, literally the entire commercial break, was on the outside holding his ribs, and the refs were checking on him. Did you see that?
I didn't like that.
Entire commercial break, and I thought something really happened. When I was watching, I was just like, is he actually okay? Because like Jay Lethal was just like waiting in there patiently, and they looked like they were looking at him, and I was just like, oh, he must have actually gotten hurt. But when they came back to the match, for some reason they put that moment in the match, and they had Jay Lethal lose. Jay Lethal looks bad. He looks weak.
Yeah, I'm not saying he doesn't.
He looks weak.
I don't know if he.
I'm he looks weak.
Like that. That's not that. I don't think if he. I don't. Sammy looks strong. He looks strong at the expense of Jay Lethal. I don't know if Jay Lethal necessarily looks weak, per se. But also, you bring in a guy like Jay Lethal to your company to do exactly what he just did: put guys over, make them look strong. That's all he's supposed to do. That's what he did. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with the weak comment, but I when we saw Sammy wrestle locally in Austin for Inspire Pro, and he would do the like I'm crazy thing. He would do that in Inspire, and we were like, oh God. I just don't think it works. I don't think it works. I like that he said I'm crazy and then missed the table, like or missed Jay Lethal on the table.
That's what I like. I like that.
Good payoff. That was a good payoff, but. Yeah, I don't know. I think Jay Lethal just comes off as looking like a talented professional wrestler who maybe he's like the guy, he's new in town. He thinks he's got it figured out, and he doesn't realize just how tough it is to be successful in this company. Like he's got to get used to the flow of things is what I think.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Sammy's best opportunity is being a creep. Being a creep wrestler. Just being like, honestly, like a serious Danhausen. Just kind of like not sans the makeup, but just kind of like creepy. He looks like a creepy guy he always has his shoulders slumped over, and he's got these big teeth and wild eyes. Like, be a creep. Just be a creepy guy, and then I'll be fine.
That's really interesting. I couldn't get behind that because I don't think he could do that. He could only be himself. He's a wrestler who could only be himself.
No, he is. No, that's the thing. Him as a person is that. So like you just be you and just no longer say you're like no longer have a group of people saying, look how great he is. He's such a Spanish god. I just want him to say it alone. I'm a Spanish god. And he's like acting like an idiot. No one would believe him. If he didn't have all these people hyping him up, he'd sound like an idiot. We have some comments here. Tony says, I'd ally Christian to MJF. Interesting pairing. I wouldn't mind it. I just guess I'm so spoiled right now from CM Punk MJF. I couldn't even think of that. But Tony writes Christian and Pinnacle. That's an interesting thing. Kick MJF out and have Christian be the leader of Pinnacle. Yeah. That would be good. Tony, you got some interesting ideas. Yeah,
you think outside the box.
Definitely interesting. Yankees MCAF says.
I was just going to say, if I recall, on our AEW Full Gear prediction show, Tony thought
it's available in the archives.
It is available in the archives. Tony thought that Hangman was going to lose and then start feuding with Matt Jackson, which did not happen. But what an interesting. That's thinking outside the box.
You got some wild thoughts, Tony. And he has another one here coming up. Yankees MCAV says, wasn't a great match in reference to Jay Lethal and Sammy Guevara. It was just fine. Tony writes, I agree, Red. For once, Lethal did look weak. He's the top star of ROH, and he jobbed to a weak hurt Sammy. I wish he said weak heart Sammy because he does have a weak heart. He's kind of fire. But wow, what a night we had. And we're excited for Rampage. Yeah, what's happening on Rampage?
Red, you don't remember the instant classic of Darby Allin versus Billy Gunn? That's
honestly
happening on Rampage.
I can't wait. Honestly, I'm very excited for that match. I think everyone should be. That sounds like a ball of fun. I'm excited for that. And what do we have coming up this Saturday?
This Saturday, the Weekly Wrestle episode 2.
Yeah, Weekly Wrestle. Yeah. I keep getting confused with the other one. Don't flip them around. It's the Weekly Wrestle. It's like a newspaper. Yeah. We got another thing going on. It really blew up the internet last week. Let's see if we can do it again. Any other thoughts before we sign off? We had a fun show.
We had a fun show. I had a great time. I thought Full Gear was a phenomenal pay-per-view. We haven't gotten a chance to talk about it. I thought it was great. I thought tonight's episode was great, and I'm really excited for the next few weeks here. I think there's going to be some really exciting things happening.
But yeah, excellent job, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us. I appreciate you all. Check us out on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. And let's all thank Tam again. Let's all give Tam a warm
Thank
A
you so
warm
much.
howdy. Thank you so much to Tam for making this show visible and audible. Thank you all so much. We'll see you later. Follow us on all the things we post now.
Yeah, I post a lot of things on Twitter. Last night, I think I almost spontaneously posted at 2 a.m. how good Brett Armstrong was in WCW. That's what you're missing out
Let's
on.
do it. Let's do it. Thank you all so much. Have a great one. Bye. And I'll give you a little count off there, Tam. You could
Ole. Ole. Ole.